the bullshit? Damn. Now you're gonna start playing. Okay, you fuckhead motherfuckers. Fuck y'all, man. These people be getting on my nerves, man. tuned in to the Iceman Show podcast. More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the fat man gets it in. What's happening, chocolate people? Decided to get at y'all on Thursday evening. Got my workout in, got a few things done today. So we're here and we're going to get it in. And I thank you for joining us. Got a lot of things to talk about tonight. Trying to get everything set up here so we can get started. Trying to wait for a few people to get into the room, but taking people a minute. What up, Last Crucible? Just waiting for a few folks to get in the room, but we're going to go ahead and get started. You know how we do on the Iceman Show podcast. We get it in like nobody else. We talk about the issues that affect you, and we talk about topics that people don't want to talk about on other forums, but we talk about that on my podcast, the Iceman Show podcast. You digs? So we're going to get it cracking. You know how we do. We're going to get it cracking. Make it do what it do. I don't know if you guys heard the interview with Ayesha Curry, wife of Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors. A lot of sisters have been dumping on her and really saying some mean things about this young sister. And I'm not going to go totally in on the interview. I'm just going to highlight a couple of things that I think are important that we should talk about. And the one thing that really caught my ear and my attention was when she said, wait a minute, okay. When she said that, and I'm paraphrasing what she said. She said that her husband, Steph Curry, gets all this attention from all these thoughts, these groupies, and yet she does not get attention from men. Now, she didn't say that my man Steph Curry wasn't giving her the attention she deserves, because she did not intimate that. So I would infer that everything is cool on that front. But what I really want you guys to pay attention to is the fact that this is a married woman, and she is complaining about men outside her marriage not paying her attention. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is that she's young and she's got a little growing up to do. Because if this is something that festers going forward in this relationship, it could cause major problems with her husband. And she needs to be careful not to do that. I would hate to see a black couple break up over bullshit. Because we all know, and some of us can state based on our own experiences, that kind of issue, especially if coming from your woman, if you're a man, you know that's going to cause major problems going forward. And you know you ain't going to want to deal with that. Because I wouldn't tolerate that. I wouldn't. You have to understand something. Let me unpack this for a second. Let me quarterback this. She's basically saying that asking, how come I'm not getting attention from men outside my marriage? What's wrong with me? Am I less attractive? Now, a lot of you, ladies and gentlemen, are probably the first thing that's going to come to mind is she's insecure. Oh, yeah. I mean, they go without saying. She's definitely insecure. But how deep is her insecurities? That's the thing we really need to try to find out here. How deep is her insecurities? How deep is her insecurities? If this woman is whining about not getting attention from men outside her marriage, I have to ask, why do you need attention from men outside your marriage to validate you? See, this is a perfect test. This is a perfect case study, ladies, as to why men, I'm not saying in all circumstances, this is one of the reasons, ladies, why men don't want to be in relationships and get married. Because when you get married to somebody, let me jump over the relationship and jump to marriage. Look, I was married before, and I was married to somebody who had major insecurities. And she thought being in a marriage was going to fix that. And all it did was drive a wedge between me and her, because she felt she didn't deserve a good life. She felt that unworthy. And she also felt that there was always a threat from somebody outside our marriage, even if I wasn't doing anything, which I wasn't. Guys, let me put you up on game real quick. It's right, Ghost. She want to know if she still got it. Well, let me just be honest with you. Ayesha Curry really ain't. She ain't really got it popping like that. You know what I'm saying? She reminds me of my ex-wife when I first met her before she blew up like a balloon. Ayesha Curry is about a 5.5, which is where my ex-wife was. She was not a 6. She was not a 7. She damn sure wasn't a 9. Now, Ayesha Curry she's pretty in the face. She's cute, but she ain't really got no booty. And like y'all have heard me say on many occasions, black women with flat behinds are sneaky and dirty and deceitful, even more than black women who got booty. You can't trust a black woman with a flat butt. I'm telling you. That ain't just based on innuendo. That's based on my life experiences. Well, last Crucible, I got the Nuggets last Crucible. The Nuggets look strong. I didn't think they were that good. I can't stand Portland. I hate Portland. I ain't never liked the Trailblazers, except when Clyde Drexler was playing for them. That's the only time they will fly. But last Crucible, I'm not willing to go totally over the edge yet. I'm not willing to go over. I'm not prepared to go beyond the point of no return with their relationship. I don't think it's a situation where she doesn't respect her husband. I'm not willing to go that far. Yeah, Lillard. I like Lillard. Yeah, he's on point. And DeRozan, is that DeRozan that's on the team? Not DeRozan. That dude to be hitting them jump shots. I forgot that young brother's name. The other one, is he just 2-guard, shooting guard? The light skinned brother. McCollum, yeah. McCollum, you right. Yeah, that's who he remind me of Sabonis. That's who he remind me of. Yeah. Yeah, joke is he ain't no joke. But I'm not willing to say that she's being disrespectful to Steph. I think what she's doing is she's talking about her insecurities, because see, everybody wants to see if they still got it. See, when I was married, I got way more play then than I do now, because American women are sick. And I'm not saying all of them are, but a good number of them are sick. And when I say sick, I'm talking about mentally ill. Because most American women don't want their own man. They always want what somebody else got. They're either willing to break up your relationship with your girl, or they want to take you from that woman. I was listening to Earthquake, my man, comedian Earthquake. That's my dude right there. Earthquake, they on his show, they were on the Sirius XM on Kevin Hart's channel 96. They were talking about if you dating somebody, if you got a fiance and you boned her sister or her friend, should you tell her before you get married? And I was like, if you boned her sister before y'all got married, I don't think you should, or her friend before you got married, I think you should not get married, because it's gonna come out. She gonna get mad and tell your wife and say, yeah, I boned Cedric. Yeah, I got with him. What you got to say about that, bitch? I'm telling you, it's gonna come out. She gonna tell your wife, dog, just to be an asshole. They gonna get into it sooner or later, and she is going to tell your wife. And it's over for you, dog. It's curtains. Get a fork so you can stick in your ass, because you done. Stick a fork in it. exactly what other women want. And that's sad. American women don't want their own man. They always want somebody else's man. I'll give you a case in point. I remember one time, this is a while back, I was in between girlfriends and I met this lady and we were talking and I asked her straight because I just want to see what kind of lies she was going to tell. I said, "Are you dating anybody right now?" And well, I can't remember if she asked me or I asked her first. I can't remember if I can't remember. To really be honest, I can't remember. And that's important. And the reason why it's important because depending on who asked who first, her response was either going to be a lie or going to be the truth. And I can't remember if I asked her first. I think I might have asked her first. And I said, "You dating anybody right now?" And we got into talking. We went, further into the conversation. And she said, no, we were talking about dating. And she said something. And she said, we were talking about, dating multiple people or something like that. And I said, what did I say to her? No, she said to me, and I know I volunteered. I said to her, she asked me something, and I can't remember what she asked me, but my response was, I wasn't dating anybody. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, Monster 86. She said, I said, I'm not dating anybody right now. And I noticed her attitude changed after I said that. Her attitude changed. And I said, she wasn't the only one I've told. I've told a couple of women that I wasn't dating anybody because I wasn't. Normally, what I tell my life coaching clients who hire me to help them with dating, I tell men, never tell a woman that you ain't dating nobody. But see, I'm older. I'm in my mid-50s. So I'm thinking I'm dealing with a mature person if I'm talking to somebody 45 and up. And unfortunately, you got 50-year-old women who are idiots, who still haven't grown up. And so these women in their mind, they don't see anything wrong, or they seem to not be interested in a man who's actually available for them. Do you guys get this? Do you guys ever wonder why women, what's really going on with these women where you don't want your own man? You want somebody else got? I mean, normally what I do now, because I realize women over 40 are not mature, I just say to them, I just say, hey man, I'm casually dating. Ain't nothing serious going on. And then I get women who say, well, especially women I've met off of Facebook, because I have had women send me messages on Facebook, and we've gotten, we've met, and didn't go well for them. Because if physically you look less attractive than you do on your page, then there's going to be a problem when you show up to meet me. It's going to be a problem. Because if on your page you look like a 7, and then we meet and you're actually a 4 because you had your hair laid a certain way, you had your best side of your face captured in that picture, or the pictures you have of your body of you 5 years ago when you were still looking halfway decent, and now after 5 years you done blew up like a damn swollen hog. There's gonna be a problem. I'm sorry. And I know a lot of ladies get mad when I talk about this kind of stuff, but I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Don't misrepresent yourself. If you a 5, be a 5 on your page. That's one of the reasons I stopped doing online dating, because these women misrepresent themselves. And then when they send you a picture, because I've told women, well, send me a picture of you. This is like 10 years ago. I'm like, send me a picture of you. They send me a picture and they up here done gained 50 pounds because they ain't doing nothing but sitting around eating. Like when I drive around here, dog, when I drive around here and I'm sitting at the light and I look in my rear view mirror, almost every time a woman is sitting behind me, she's either sipping on some nasty iced coffee with a gallon of sugar in it, or they're sipping on a latte or something, or they're shoveling food in their mouth. And based on how wide their faces are, I'm like, this broad is fat. And I don't mean PHAT fat. Let me read what my man Brian Townsend said. He said, Ayesha Curry is the typical American black woman, attention deprived and stupid as fuck, no matter how much intelligence she possesses. That's true, brother. But having a college degree don't mean nothing. White males have the least amount of college degrees, and yet they control the most resources. So that ought to tell you that a college degree is a waste of time. My bachelor's degree is a waste of time. Now, my 2 master's degrees are worthwhile as an entrepreneur, but working in corporate America with those 2 master's degrees is a waste. I tell everybody, if you want to be say you want to be a engineer, go get your bachelor in science degree in engineering. Go work for an engineering firm for 5 years. Stack all your chips up. Stack your chips, save your money, save your 401k. And as you are working for these people, start building your client list. Now, if you sign some type of, because usually some companies will do this, and because I've had to do it as a middle manager, they'll make you sign a paper that says if you quit or get terminated, you won't contact any of their clients for 5 years. Well, I tell you right now, I would get them clients anyway. I would compile a list anyway. I do it anyway. Okay? I do it anyway. Maybe you ought to treat your employees better, and maybe they'll stay. You digs? College degrees don't make you smart. Common sense and wisdom makes you smart. Everybody's born with smarts. Everybody's born with intelligence. It's what you build on top of the intelligence. Smarts and intelligence are just the foundation. That's what God gives you. But when you live in America, you're going to have to build on top of that foundation. You're going to have to educate yourself. And the sad thing about it, Black parents are not preparing our children for battle and to be competitive in American society. And that's why you got so many Black failures out here, because the parent did not prepare you or them for competitiveness against people who are starting out the gate with a 400-year head start. When you have Black women out here talking about, I got a degree, look where I went to school at, but yet you get your news from Blavity, Black Twitter, and Madame Noir and Bossip and Basketball Wives and Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, New York, and LA and Hollywood. That makes you ignorant. And she better be careful. I don't know if Steph Curry, I guarantee, I'm willing to bet Steph Curry made her sign a prenuptial agreement. And I know he ain't been married to her 10 years. You dig? Because in California, a prenuptial agreement is invalid after 10 years. Or until you tear it up. Or if you tear it up before them 10 years are up, which I would never do. If I get married again, whether it's an American woman or a foreign woman, she will sign a prenuptial agreement stating she gets zero. A zero. As Judge Judy would say. You get nada. Now, if she's a foreign woman and we ain't got no kids, I'll pay for her to go home. I'll pay for her a one-way ticket back to Povertyville, wherever she from. But she ain't leaving with no cash. I might give her a gift card for Walmart with $10 on it. Yeah, baby, go get you some feminine products with that. Courtesy of the Iceman. Courtesy of the Iceman. You digs? This woman, I'm not willing to go out on a limb and say that she is unappreciative of what the kind of life Steph Curry is building as built for her. Yes, she has I know she has at least one restaurant. She has a couple of restaurants, right? And I think she has a line of like cookware or something like that. She's got a Revlon endorsement deal that's worth probably $1 million a year. She's making a little paper on her own, but we all know she didn't get that restaurant or none of that other stuff popping without Steph Curry's seed money. Let's just keep it a buck. Women don't build anything in America that a man hasn't given her, or indirectly or directly. So when women say, I got everything on my own, that's a lie. Because I guarantee there was a man that hired you on that damn job. And if it was a woman that hired you for that job, I guarantee that company was probably started by a man. Probably. He probably is looking at her side eye. I know I would. I know when she got home, we'd have a conversation. I'm like, what you mean by you want attention from other men? You need to explain that to me. I'm over here keeping these lights on, buying these T-bone steaks every night. I'm still beating it up. We got 2 kids. I'm still hitting it. And you coming at me with this, I want attention from other men shit? Oh, I would be salty. I'd have to pull up her coattail and be like, hey, babe, what's up? Am I not enough? I make $33 million a year. How much more money do I need? Huh? Remember AI made over $150 million. Matter of fact, he made more than that. And he chased his woman through the house with a gun. Paul Pierce whooped up on his wife. Got into it with his wife a couple of times. These guys are making 14, 15, 20 million a year, and they can't keep their women in line. What makes you think you keep your woman in line and you work second shift at the post office? Huh? That's why I tell this, ladies, these are some of the reasons why black men don't want to get married. Because they don't want to be in the house with a woman who is raising hell every 5 minutes about stupid shit. Don't know. And then on top of that, you ain't even a dime. At least a dime, you might be a little more patient with her, because I know I was. Whenever I've been in relationships with dimes, I've been a lot more patient than I normally am. But after a while, I still had to put my foot down and say, hey, look, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. You need to slow your roll, partner. Look, partner, you need to stop doing what you doing. Because you about to get a pink slip up in here. See, that's why, if you ever wonder why a lot of brothers, once they get money, they just slaying females. They ain't trying to get married. I know some old players like that that's my age or older. They own their own financial services firm. Brothers like, man, I make a couple $1 million a year. I ain't trying to share that with none of these hoes. I ain't sharing nothing with you. Well, we can build something. Build something? You see what I got? I don't need the help. I don't need no help building nothing, lady. I built this on my own. What you bringing to the table? You got kids by some other man. I'm not taking care of none of them. What are you bringing to the table that's equal to what I bring? I'll wait. Used vagina ain't no trade-off, ladies. See, a lot of ladies hate when I talk about, like I had a couple of aunts that got mad because they saw a couple of my live stream. They like, nephew, you talking about women monetizing their vaginas. I said, it's the truth. You guys have monetized and weaponized your vaginas. You have. You have weaponized and monetized your vagina. And it's about time men monetize their time. Because if you monetize your time, you ain't gonna let no thought or no hood rat run up in your situation. You gonna see her before she see you. And you ain't gonna want to be bothered. See, when I meet women who don't bring nothing to the table, it ain't no thing for me to walk away. And then, yeah, they're surprised. Oh, okay. I thought, you was going to be tripping off this pussy. Nah, I ain't tripping off this pussy because I get plenty of it. I ain't worried about you. What you got don't mean, what you got ain't no big deal. You ain't the first woman on the earth and you ain't the last woman. I gave you guys that. Remember, I gave you guys that statistical problem about the value of vagina. And I started with one woman. If you got 100 men in a room and one woman walks into the room and all those men try to get at her to be the one to get with her, that means her vagina, the stock of her vagina is high. But once another woman walks in the room, it cuts the value, it cuts the stock price value of her vagina in half. Y'all see where I'm going with this? See, I'm going to talk about this in depth in my second book, The Dating Bible. I'm going to break that whole statistic problem down. Ayesha Curry owns at least one restaurant. I think she went to culinary school. So she's an executive chef. She's a culinary expert. So yeah, she's got mad skills. But and she got 2 babies to take care of. You know she got a nanny. Man, let me tell you something. A lot of these stars you see that be in public with their kids, dog, I used to work in Hollywood. A lot of these people are putting a front up. When they are at home, dude, these people be leaving their kids with a Mexican housekeeper. I've been in producers, I probably don't remember their names now, but producers who are multimillionaires. I've been in they $5, $6, $7 million houses, and they ain't never there. We would go over there to drop off scripts, and the wife will be, well, my husband, he's in Japan filming a movie. And as mad as that wife was, I could tell that dude ain't never home. That's why I be wondering why them guys be getting married. Why you go get married when you can bone any woman around the world? Why would you get married and then not be at home, not be one to be bothered with the broad? I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Oh, she is? Or Steph Curry's, what was Steph Curry's mom sitting there next to her in an interview, or did they interview Steph Curry's mother? Look, let me say this here, ladies and gentlemen. American women are doing all they can to end up divorced or never get married and dying single. Now, with all the fellas in the room, let me say this to you. Let me ask you this. Would you have a problem dying alone? Probably not. Because men, if you've been raised right, a man, he knows he got to be an island at some point. A man has to stand on his principles. So if he stands on his principles, you ain't gonna have a whole lot of friends, because sooner or later you're gonna tell one of your so-called friends the truth, and then he gonna be a bitch and run off in the corner somewhere and cry. You're gonna be standing outside of your house while he goes to the car. You're gonna be like, he gonna cry in the car. Okay. I got an uncle that got his mouth stuck out of me because I told him the truth about something. I'm like, hey, man, you ain't hurt me, dog. You ain't hurt me. You the one got them problems. I ain't got them problems. I ain't got the problems you got. My life is velvet. I ain't over here trying to forget about all the mistakes I made. I don't have to do that. That's why I'm able to do more. You know, I could, rest on my laurels, but I ain't that kind of person. I ain't that kind of dude. You digs? So this kind of nonsense with Ayesha Curry being deeply insecure, this is the kind of stuff that breaks up relationships. Ladies, if you want attention from men, that's not that important. Because the older you get, the less attractive you're going to be to men. Now, some of y'all can get in the gym and, you can keep, some of your attractiveness. But most of you women, because of your diet, your alcohol intake, your frame of mind, your job, and how much rest you get, and how many kids you got, all of those factors are going to determine whether you blow up like a hog and stay that way, or you keep some of your girlish figure into your 50s, 60s, and possibly 70s. It's going to be hard, but if you're willing to keep your stress level down, eat a healthy diet, get a regular amount of exercise, and get your rest, you might be able to keep your girlish figure for a while. Most of you will not, which is why a lot of you women are disgruntled and angry when you hit your 30s, 40s, and 50s, because you can see on the horizon this dating thing ain't working. Not for you, it ain't. Because let's face it, at some point, you're going to want somebody to put a ring on it, and they ain't going to do it. For some of the reasons I mentioned earlier in this broadcast, that men ain't going to sit, these men today, they not going to sit around listen to your shit. They not going to put up with that shit no more. Everybody's getting tribal. Everybody's selfish. People don't want to share their money in their life. And men should be way more selfish than they are. We got too many simps out here. We got too many tricks out here. We got too many clowns out here blowing their money on women, thinking that's the way to go. Okay? Otherwise, we wouldn't have all these strip clubs where you got strippers making $100,000 a year. See, 30 years ago, strip clubs were far and few because most men were getting theirs. Most men were either in relationships or they were dating a bunch of women. And people were still getting married. But today, the only guys who are keeping a hold, the only guys who stay in relationships today are simps. If you see a guy and he always got a girlfriend and he ain't really that good looking, maybe he got an okay job, he's a simp. He be tricking his money off. That's why I told you guys, on those of you on YouTube, because I'm doing a simulcast. Those of you on YouTube, you know I've said this for years. I've been saying this because I've been doing this show for 8 years. I've been doing this broadcast for 8 years. And this actually 9 years. I've been doing it professionally for 6 years. And I've been telling you guys for years, put your wallet away when the women come around. Whenever you go around women, put your wallet away. You ain't got no reason to pull your wallet out unless you are in a relationship with this woman or she's giving up the goods. If you're not getting none of that sticky thing, then you ain't got no business pulling your wallet out. Now, when you meet somebody, the first thing you should do is tell them, hey, we need to meet at a Starbucks. We ain't meeting at no restaurant, because that's a trick. If a woman tells you she wants to meet at a bar or a restaurant, she's trying to get a free dinner or a free drink out of you. If she says, hey, let's meet at Starbucks, she might have a little sense. Although I've met some dummies, I've met plenty of dummies at Starbucks too, who think they can run game. But when women ask me how come men don't want to commit, because really the only men that women ever say that about is successful men. They don't say how come the postal worker doesn't want to commit. It's always the dude. It's always the rapper. It's always the ball player. It's the brother that, he's got his own business. It's always that situation. Because I get women, when I meet women, the first thing they start talking about, well, would you be interested in getting remarried? I said, I ain't gonna say marriage is off the table, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's like, it's hanging off the table. It's still on the table, but it's hanging off the table. Okay? There's no reason for me to get married. There's no reason for a man to get married once he get his paper right. There's no reason for him to get married. What are you going to get married for? So you can spend his money? So you can screw his money up? No. You ain't going to mess my money up. Because when you trying to take care of somebody, especially like the situation I had when I was married, somebody don't want to keep a job, somebody that want to sit up here and blow their money on dumb shit, and then be like, well, I need $500 for this. Well, wait a minute, where's your money? You bring in $4,500 a month. Where's your money at? I ain't giving you none of my money. See, I don't want to go through that a second time. I don't want to go through that a second time, player. Real talk. Don't want to deal with it. That's why I tell brothers, get your paper right. And I get these young brothers, they be like, hey man, why you always tell somebody get their dollars up? You must have grew up in a home, your single female headed household. Because if you grew up with a man, even a piece of a man like I had at home, you gonna learn money management. Okay? My mom taught me you don't spend no money on no woman. I remember one time I bought a shirt for a girlfriend in high school and my mom almost hit me in the head. I almost got stole on. My mom was like, take that shirt back to the store. You don't buy no woman no clothes. I was like, damn, it's like that? See, you guys grow up in these little raggedy single female headed household where your mama don't know nothing. All your mama know how to do is poke a booty out to get men's attention. That's all she know how to do. And yell and cuss and smoke cigarettes and get high. So you didn't learn anything. You're barely functioning above a rat. You're barely functioning above a damn dog when you grow up in a female-headed household today. Your mama ain't got no discipline. You ain't gonna have no discipline. And as a black man, you can't afford to do that. You can't afford to go out in American society and you don't have no discipline, dog, because you're gonna end up in the back of a police car. Sooner or later, you're gonna end up in the back of a police car or dead. One or the other or both. You're gonna end up dead or you're gonna end up in prison. And your mama, it's her fault. Can't blame the daddy, he wasn't there. You didn't want him to be there, remember? I don't need no man to raise my kids. Okay, raise them by yourself, you fool. Yeah, you can raise your kids by yourself. You can also drive your car with your feet, but that don't make it a good idea. Unfortunately, we got women who want to use their children as test cases. It's hard to try to teach a 21, 22, 23-year-old man that he has to be competitive with these other races of people out here. It's hard because he ain't gonna want to listen. You know why I know he don't want to listen? Because I've been doing this for 8 years, and every time I make a video about black men being responsible, standing up like a man, and stop letting all these other races run roughshod over you, or you tell these young black men, walk around here with some purpose, pull your pants up. When you go out here, don't have these tattoos all over your face. Don't get tattoos on your neck. Get tattoos where you can easily put on a long sleeve shirt and cover up all them tattoos. Know when to get clean. Know when to get clean cut and because you have to, because remember, people are going to judge you more harshly than they're going to judge any of these other races. And your mama ain't taught you that. But every time I make videos telling black men what they need to do, instead of listening, you rebel like a little kid. Because you ain't used to no man telling you this is what you need to do if you want to be considered a man. America already tries to treat you like a boy and you're a grown man. They're always trying to treat you like you're a third-class citizen. If you want people to take you seriously, stop showing everybody your underwear. You look ridiculous. Back when I was in high school, guys used to, the gang members were the only ones who sagged. And even back then, they didn't show their underwear. They would pull their shirt down over their pants. Why? I remember one time I was on a light rail and I'm on the damn train and these brothers get on there with their pants. They had boxer shorts on. Their pants were down. Their pants didn't start till right here. This is where their pants were. And this was their drawers. I was like, look at these fools. It was so embarrassing. And I was sitting in the seat, and these fools got on the train. They had all these people on the train, and these two Negroes were talking all loud and talking about nigga this, nigga that, just acting like idiots. Do you really think, and do you think those young guys grew up with their daddies? No. And that brings me to the title of this broadcast today. Who is your real enemy? We always think somebody that tells us the truth is our enemy. Are they really your enemy? Like I'll give you an example, like the uncle I was telling you about. He's one of these kind of people. He always gets his mouth stuck out, gets his panties in a bunch when somebody tell him something he don't like. But yeah, this is the same guy that's on the phone 3 or 4 hours talking about other people. But when somebody says something to him, he can't take it. That's a problem. But when you look at the course of this person's life, you don't have to look too far past that to realize that this person has some major issues. Okay? You digs? I'm not his enemy. I ain't. To those of you who get mad at me and unsub because I do a video on a topic you don't like, it's usually a topic where I'm challenging you as a man. And the reason why you get mad is because you're not a man and you don't see yourself as a man. So you try to act like I'm the enemy. I'm not your enemy, dog. If you want to go out here and shoot heroin up in your arm and then you listen to a video of me saying, stop smoking crack, stop shooting heroin, and you get mad at me for telling you to stop doing it. Whose fault is that? Am I your enemy, dog? Or is it the heroin or the crack? Let real talk. Come on. They paying you enough. Come on now. Whose fault is it that you smoking crack? Whose fault is it that you shooting heroin in your arm? Is it my fault? The guy that's trying to help you? The guy that's trying to get you on the straight and narrow? Or the person who's selling you that garbage? Come on now. Let's get real. Who is your real enemy? Let's get real tonight, black folk. Who's your real enemy? See, black folks don't want to have this conversation. Who is your real enemy, black man, black woman? We're coming up on another election, a presidential election season. Okay? Once we get to the end of this year, it'll be in full campaign mode. I'm willing to bet $100 that the Democratic ticket is going to be Biden O'Rourke. Okay? Against Trump. Trump is a sitting president. Who's your real enemy? Who's your real enemy? Not the enemy you think it is. Who's your real enemy? See, just because somebody looks like you, like they say, skin folk ain't necessarily kin folk. You digs? Now you have black women out here subscribing to feminism. Oh, by the way, if you haven't got my first book, get it. The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. This is my first book. I talk about dating. I talk about relationships. I talk about politics. I talk about a lot of different things in here. I talk about psychology in here. This book's got everything in it. Now, my second book, The Dating Bible, it's going to be all dating. But how I'm writing it is I'm starting from one end of the spectrum. I'm talking about sociology, psychopathology, and all of that stuff, and politics. And then I'm segueing into dating. Because all of that, believe it or not, guys, politics and sociology has a lot to do with dating. But you can get my first book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. You can get this at Amazon.com, or you can order this directly from me and I'll sign it. Just go to AskTheIceman.com, scroll down to the Add to Cart button, and once you click on that button, you can just go from there. I'll get an email alert, and then I'll go ahead and send this to you after I sign it. So if you want an autographed copy of this, you go to AskTheIceman.com, scroll down to the Add to Cart button. You digs? So do that. A lot of black women have been duped by the Gloria Steinems and the Oprahs. And y'all bought into this thing that if I become a lesbian, or if I subscribe to feminism, I can have a higher status than black men. And what a lot of you black women are finding out is a lot of black men are leaving you alone. Now, I'm not saying that all the problem black women are being left behind and all the good black women are getting wiped up. I'm not saying that, because there are garbage black women who are married. I know, because my ex is married. And she's straight garbage. Okay? I'm not trying to talk about it. I'm just telling the truth. She's garbage. And I know her. I've spent too many years with her not to know she's nothing other than garbage. Okay? She's garbage wrapped in a college degree. That's why I say that I keep telling guys there's college educated hood rats out here too that speak the King's English. There's a lot of garbage hood rat thoughts that go to Hampton University and Tuskegee and Fisk and Howard and all the rest of them, and Spelman too. But dig it. Who's your real enemy? So when these black women bought into feminism, they said, hey, these white women, we part of this group. Hey, we up here with white women. And then a few things happened. Where more and more black women start getting beat up in public by Caucasians or Asians and Arabs and Indians. Beat up in their stores and restaurants and beauty supplies and beauty salons. They've been out here shooting our kids. So if they're doing if these other races are doing this stuff to us, some of these black women are waking up and say, hey, this feminism shit ain't for us. First of all, for you to be a feminist, you're an idiot anyway. Because feminism ain't nothing but a branch of white supremacy. And if you had a brain, if you had common sense, wisdom, and some street smarts, you would know that feminism is for Caucasian women only. Because as you see, Asian women and Latinas don't subscribe to feminism. You got some that do, but they're usually lesbians. Or in their mind, in their delusional mind, they're white. I remember in my master's in social work program, there was this Mexican chick in there. She said, I was raised white, but I'm actually Mexican. She was adopted by a white couple. So those types, they buy into that shit. But smart black women, if they were a feminist or they're a closet feminist, they try to hide that shit as much as possible. Because if you smell any feminism on that black woman, she has an unhealthy hate for black men. I'm going to ask you this question again, people. Who's your real enemy? Who's your real enemy? I want you to think about that for a second. Who is your real enemy? See, black women who subscribe to feminism, they will tell you that black men are their enemy. Do you know how ridiculous you have to be to say that the men in your race group, that you're against them, and you practice feminism, and because you're dumb enough to believe that it's going to help you? Because really what it is, guys, I'm talking to the men for a second. What it really is you got black women who thirst and who are desperate for attention and validation from Caucasians. That's what the problem is. And you can't do anything with a mammy like that. Those are the type of black women that have low self-esteem, even if they're attractive. They try their best to try to get a white zaddy. And some of them do get a zaddy. But a lot of these black women that have zaddies, they be getting called nigger in their own home. They'll never admit it, though. They'll never admit it. They'll never admit it. You will never hear you'll never hear an Asian woman, you'll never hear a Caucasian woman, you'll never hear a Hispanic woman or a Native American woman say that they hate their men the way black women do. Not all black women, but a good number of them. You'll never hear that come out the mouths of other races of women because they know better. Because they know these are the men. How are we as a race going to survive and move forward if I hate my men? This is how you become extinct. See, whenever I say to black people that we are on the path to extinction, they say to me, "Oh man, you talking some old apocalypse now type shit. Man, what you talking about, man?" I'm telling y'all, black people are going to end up extinct. Let me give you some. Let me go open up something real quick. And there was an article on Yahoo News, and I got it open, and I'm gonna look at it after I get done with the live stream. It says U.S. officials fear Ebola outbreak in Congo could become largest ever. They over there killing niggas. They over there killing Africans. They over there killing Africans with that Ebola shit. Ebola is not a disease. Is not a bacteria that comes from the natural environment. Ebola is a disease, is a super bacteria that they created at the CDC to use as a weapon against the people of color around the world, mainly black people. And they're trying to mask it like they did with HIV and AIDS. They're trying to mask it with, well, we over here trying to help these people. No, you're out. Let me tell you something. Peace Corps, all these little fake organizations. A lot of these people be over there sexually assaulting those children and those women over there. These European and Caucasian Americans that call themselves going over there helping. They're over there shooting those people up just like they did with HIV. They're over there shooting those people up with Ebola. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, you ain't got no proof that that's what they doing. Well, let me ask you a question, dum-dum. Why are they over there in the first place, and why are all the only Africans getting Ebola then? How come Ebola ain't in Europe? Huh? Explain that. Where did Ebola come from? Now, that I do have proof. It came from the CDC. If you can't kill people with a bullet and a bomb, then you give them super bacterias. You give them super viruses. I'm sorry. You give them a super virus that their body, that the natural immune system can't fight. All the CDC does is come up with viruses and bacterias, and then they put them out here in society, in different societies around the world, to kill people. Because you have to understand, white supremacy, the white supremacists, their numbers are decreasing. Their birth rates are low as hell. So they're looking at, how can we get rid of these black people? Well, if we go over there and just shoot them and bomb them, we're going to look bad to the world community. So what we're going to do is go over there and shoot their asses up with this super virus. And then send our people over there and act like we're trying to help when they're not. They'll go over there and kill everybody over there and then go over there and steal their resources. That's why the military has a major presence over there in Africa now. Who is your real enemy, black man? Who is your enemy, black woman? See, as long as you talking about I'm a feminist and you trying to side with these white women thinking you gonna get some butter biscuits and a pat on the head from white mommy and white daddy, they're killing your people in the street. They're locking your men up in prison. Let me tell you something. In order for any race to survive, the men have to be in warrior mode. And we all know that most black men don't have a warrior mentality. Most black men cheese all the time. They're smiling and grinning all the time. That all they do is chase ass and kiss ass. That's not a warrior. Somebody that tries to be everybody's buddy and kiss everybody's ass everywhere they go is not a warrior. And they have rendered black men damn near useless. You got black men who want to be LGBT instead of being a warrior. Why? Look, black people cannot survive with matriarchy. Matriarchy is going to have us all extinct. They're already working on population control right now. In 30 years, the Caucasian in America, their numbers are somewhere around 66%. majority. In 30 years, it's going to be down to 30-something%. They say by 2030, this country will be majority black and brown. So we have to get rid of the bastard baby makers. That's why when I was listening today, they said the state of Georgia signed the governor signed a bill that's going to go in effect in February that states that, with the exception of rape and incest, if there's a heartbeat, you can't get an abortion. That's a good thing, because let me tell you something. The number one baby killers in this country are black women. That's one of the main reasons why they try to keep Planned Parenthood open, because you have to understand, Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, says she started Planned Parenthood to kill black babies, to keep black folks' numbers down. And that's why the federal government, out of all the nonprofits around the country, Planned Parenthood is one of the few that gets direct funding from the federal government. Did y'all know that? And the number one reason is because black women have successfully killed 13 million babies in the last 20 years. This is why our numbers are not going up. Here's why we keep hovering around 13%, 14% in this country. Actually, it's higher than that. But some people who have black heritage will on the census, they'll put down, oh, I'm Caucasian. So I would think probably our numbers are somewhere around 18, 19, 20%. But because we have so many people who are ashamed to be black, that's why we have situations like that. You digs? So we have black women getting more abortions than any other race of women. We have police killing black folks out here. We have police in the schools beating on our children. We have other races of people being hostile to us. Black men can't find jobs in corporate America, but they'll hire black women. We have Caucasian citizens in this country who are out here killing black people. Then we have single female headed households who have created a prison home to prison pipeline, or home to graveyard or cemetery pipeline. That's why our numbers ain't higher than 14, 15% black people. Those are some of the reasons why our numbers won't go up. You understand me? Now you get mad at me again. Who is your real enemy? It ain't me. I ain't the one that made you go down there and get an abortion. And let me tell you something about women that go get abortions. The guilt, they carry that guilt the rest of their lives, but it still didn't stop them from going to get another one. Instead of teaching women, hey, make sure that man wears a condom because you don't know what kind of diseases he has. and you don't want to get pregnant. Oh, no, they don't teach women that. They teach women, oh, just be irresponsible. Just have sex to get pregnant. You can always come down here and get an abortion. And boy, they be them abortion clinic employees be so happy when them black women come in there. Like, yes, another nigger not being born. Yes, yes, another nigger not being born. That's one less nigger I have to compete against for resources. Yes. Oh, yeah, they do. They hire gay black men. Exactly. Well, don't say gay, brother. Say homosexual. Oh, they hate it when I say that. I say, oh, no, gay means happy. When I was growing up, gay meant happy. That's a gay. Gay is a British word. See, they hijack everything that's good. Like the LGBT, they hijack the rainbow. The rainbow is a beautiful thing. That ain't how is homosexuality beautiful? You gonna equate your nasty lifestyle with this? With a beautiful rainbow? See how they think? See, we got too many bitch-made dudes out here. I know because I grew up in a home with bitch-made dudes. You can't build anything with a man that wants to take women on cruises and he ain't even got the pussy yet. You can't build nothing with him. They will use these viruses and super bacteria to kill every last one of us. Because they know they can't kill us all with guns. And as long as you got black women running around here whining about women's rights and all this Caucasian woman shit that ain't got nothing to do with you. See, when black women was about their business, they couldn't pull none of this shit on us. If a cop tried to kill somebody, there was hell to pay back in the 80s. Okay? Whenever a cop killed somebody back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, niggas tore shit up. Or they went out and killed a white person. So we're going to kill one white person a day until you stop killing us. Niggas didn't play back then. So you got a bunch of niggas out here now who want attention from white folks. They want attention from white mommy and white daddy instead of handling their business. So we can't get nothing done with black men who think they got boy pussy. You can't get anything done with a black woman who has the mind of a white supremacist. You can't get nothing done, brother. Get rid of that broad. You ain't gonna be able to get nothing done with her. She's gonna be a thorn in your side until you get rid of her. Okay? I'm sorry to tell brothers this, but you got to hear it. You got to hear it. You got to hear this, man. A good number of these black women are your enemy. I'm not trying to be nasty here. I'm not trying to piss nobody off. I'm not trying to run nobody off. I'm just telling you the truth. Most of these black women, all they see black men for is somebody to steal resources from. That's it. Again, most women, let me tell you something about women. Women don't build anything. Women don't name one civilization that women built. Name one. Ladies, name one civilization that women built. I'll wait. Name one. I guarantee you can't name one. Men built civilizations. So any resources you get, you got it indirectly or directly from a man. So for you to sit here and try to, when you hear these black women try to act like they building shit, no, you ain't building anything, because look at the black community. Look at the black neighborhoods around the world. I mean, around the country. Go to South Central LA, go to Seattle, go to, no, not Seattle, but go to Chicago, go to New York, go to Miami, go to Liberty City, Miami, go to Houston, Fifth Ward, go to West Side, Dallas. That is black matriarchy, and you can see that it's crumbling right there in front of us. If black women are building anything, then how can the black neighborhoods look like shit? Why do the black neighborhoods look like Beirut? Huh? Hell, Beirut look better than that. You got black neighborhoods that look worse than, look dusted in all Afghanistan. And black women run around this motherfucker talking about, we got the most degrees, we got this. Yeah, but what is it doing for you? What is it doing for us as a group? You can't be black and then attach yourself to somebody else's race group. You look like a damn fool. And them other race groups don't even want your black ass. They just use you as a useful idiot. Fuck out of here. There's never been a time as a black man where I said, hey, I want to be white. Remember that interview that Oprah did with Barbara Walters? Remember that interview she did, what was it, in the 90s or late 80s? Well, Oprah said at one time she wanted to be white. Brother, you can't do nothing with a woman like that. You can't do nothing with a woman like that, brothers. That woman is a waste of your time. Let me tell you why. If she wants to be white, then what time, then the majority of the time, what is she really, what does she see herself as? Because it's obvious you don't want to be with us. That's why whenever I meet black women and they start talking that bullshit because they think I'm a simp or a trick, I let them know. I say, hey, look here. I have no problem firing your ass. No problem. I have no problem deleting your number out of my motherfucking phone. I have no problem doing that. You know why? Because I got options. Oprah is a useful idiot. She is a $1 billion mammy. Oprah's worth $2 billion and she still can't pull her own strings. She's still answering to people like David Geffen. The homosexual white males tell Oprah what to do. Hey guys, we're I do fundraising every live stream. I'm trying to raise $50 tonight. Donate your $5. You can use the free Cash app. or you can go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button and donate there. We're only asking for $5. We're not asking for anything above that. If you want to donate more, please, by all means, no problem. What I'm fundraising for right now is the school supplies, book bag, and school clothes for the fall. I fundraised for that from January to first couple of weeks of August. Most schools around this country start around either the third week of August, fourth week of August, or in September. So that's what we're doing. So go to asktheiceman.com, or you can donate via the Cash App. Who is your real enemy, black man, black woman? Black people cannot be your enemy if we are looking to make moves going forward. Joe Biden just keeps putting his foot in his mouth every time he opens his mouth. This fool said at a town hall that we ought to pay for health care. We ought to pay for health care for undocumented immigrants. How do you feel about that? Why should we pay for health care and other services for somebody who's breaking into our country? Huh? I don't want my federal and my state taxes going to that. When I drove across the country about 2 weeks ago, I went, almost every small city, small town, medium-sized city, these people go, they're like cancer. And every time you go to a Walmart, they're at the Walmart using their SNAP benefits and whatnot. I don't want to live around them, because even the ones who are born here are dirty and nasty, and they have no class. That's why I moved out of San Antonio. Did y'all know San Antonio is the number 2 city in this country for violence and property crimes? Did y'all know that? I am so glad I am not in San Antonio anymore. I'm glad I never bought a house in San Antonio. I'm so glad. All they do is break in people's houses. If it ain't them doing it, it's them white dudes, it's them white heroin addicts. They do that up here. It ain't the brothers breaking in. Ain't that many brothers up here breaking in houses. It's these white dudes doing these white dudes and their girlfriends. They girlfriends on that smack. It's them that's doing that. That's why the city I'm moving to, they ain't got none of them problems. They ain't tolerating that mess. And and just like my man Brandon Townsend just wrote in the chat room, black folks, the reason why after Vietnam they brought all them Cambodians over here, all them Lao people from Laos, Vietnam, and why they're allowing all these because these people are coming in more now. They talking about what Trump ain't stopping them fools. He ain't stopping them. They coming right over. They get processed and then they get released in public to wreak havoc on this country. So you have to understand something. They know black folks are losing more and more interest in voting for the Democrats. So what the Democrats are doing is say, okay, here what we'll do, we fix you niggers. We'll bring these Latinos over, give them some free health care and free welfare and everything else, free Section 8, and then they'll be loyal to us. But what they fail to realize is half of those Hispanics that broke into this country, half of them are going to be walking around here talking about, I'm like the Cubans. Oh, I'm white. I'm a Republican. Remember, a lot of them Mexicans, a lot of these Central Americans and Mexicans voted for Trump. And then turn around and threw the same motherfuckers that voted for him, he threw their ass out the country. Because you know they're going to come over here. Like they try to, you got these people like Nancy Pelosi, they'll get up on TV talking about, they're law-abiding citizens. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. I had this wetback, some woman over here live in a building way back here in the back over here. Her kid came over here, was kicking my door till I caught his ass and reported him to the manager. And I told her that you better tell her to tell her sons to cut that shit out. I ain't the one to be kicking on my door. I ain't the one to do that to, dog. I'm gonna end up in prison. You come over here kicking my door. Don't sit up here and tell me they law-abiding citizens, because they're not. That's just what they keep saying in the media. If you've ever lived around them, you know damn good and well they are nasty as hell. They have no class. They bring roaches and rats with them. I lived in an apartment complex where I had rats coming in my apartment and roaches in my apartment, and I wasn't nasty. And I moved out of that apartment. They're trying to use these undocumented immigrants to replace the black vote that is decreasing by the day. Because not only is black men saying, I ain't voting for Joe Biden, you got some black women who are just like us who saying we ain't voting until you give us some tangible reparations. You need to cut that check. Fuck the dumb shit. We ain't trying to hear that bull. Let's come together. No, we can't come together until we are made whole. You make black people in America whole, now we can come together. But we can't come together in the position we're in today. Black people, you have to understand, these white supremacists will use diseases. They will use super bacteria. They will use super viruses. They will use everything at their disposal to make sure you stay in a second and third class position. They do not want you to rise above where you are at in this country. We're not just talking about economics here. We're talking about politics and social order. You dig? Those are the hashtags I created. circulate them around. I've had guys on Facebook unfriend me because I say I wasn't a Democrat. Well, you must be a Republican then. I ain't a Republican either. I don't vote. I don't need to vote. Why are you voting for somebody who ain't doing shit for you? Who's your enemy, black man? You think Joe Biden is your friend? You think Cory Booty is your friend? You think Kamala Harris is your friend? Ain't none of them people your friend. I hope Trump gets 4 more years, and he will get 4 more years, because I'm going to tell you something. All these stupid Democratic candidates keep talking about Trump's character. Character don't mean shit. Every president that has been in the White House, with maybe the exception of Jimmy Carter, all of them had questionable character. And I guarantee if you dig deep enough, you'll find that Jimmy Carter has some character flaws. It may not have been skirt chasing, but I guarantee there was other character flaws. See, black folks are reminded about how much President Obama despises black people, and how he spent 8 years in the White House and didn't do a goddamn thing for black folk. And a lot of black folks are like, man, I ain't voting. I'm like you, Ice. Tell them to cut the check. You need to give us resources, or we're not voting. So what they're doing is, we'll get these spics to vote. We'll bring them over here. We'll give them free health care. We'll make them think we love them, and then they'll vote. They'll be loyal to us. Well, they tried that with the Cubans. How did that work? Most Cubans in Florida are Republicans, including the ones who are low income class. Who is your enemy? Who is your real enemy? Who's your real enemy? Some of you black men treat other black men like we're your real enemy. We ain't you. Look, let me explain something to you. Cowardly black men see other black men as enemies. These are the guys who are always hating on other black men. Oh, I hate the Ice Man. He make $2 more than I do, so I hate that nigga. You don't know what the fuck I got. How do you expect the black race to survive the next 50 years with the shit we're doing? Huh? You can't fight a white supremacist system and we having problems with our own women. It's kind of hard to fight white supremacy when you got a devil laying in the bed with you. Hey guys, you guys are not donating. What's up with that? We got one person that donated. Are we going back to the bullshit or what? Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and stop right here. You guys figure out what you're gonna do as far as these donations are concerned. You digs? I'm gonna take a break. Be back in 2 and 2. Keep it locked right here on the Iceman Show podcast. We is back. What up, Brown Sausage? Love you, brother. Exactly. We need to have, exactly, Harold Crawford. We need to have 2020 vision in year 2020. Exactly. Exactly. Who is your real enemy, black man? It shouldn't be black women. But black men already know that. It's black women who see black men as the enemy. And I'm not saying all black women. I'm saying a good number of black women do. The smart black women know better than to spew their garbage in private or in public. We are all we got. CMB, baby. CMB. We all we got. You think you're going to get some, and I get sick and tired of black folks using this term, people of color. There is no people of color. It's just us. It's just us, player. It's just us. We have no friends. Just because somebody grins and smiles at you, don't make them your friend. I learned that as a kid. Both my parents, hey, they smiling faces tell lies, son. Everybody that smile at you ain't your friend. But see, black folks are so starved for attention, especially from other races, that we'll let other races mistreat us. But as soon as another black person come around, you ready to fight. I was looking at this, you know how on the TLC channel, they always had this show on called The Lottery Changed My Life. And I'm looking at it, and there was this brother on there that won like a couple $1 million. This nigga, this coon, walked up, he was in a casino. This nigga walked up to a white woman and gave her $700. He said, oh, I just like to help people. Now, there was a black woman standing right near him. He didn't give her no money. But he gonna walk over there and give a white woman some money. Somebody that don't need no money. See, those kind of black folks are your enemy. Black people in your family who don't do anything to help you, they are your enemy. If they see you out here drowning in American society and they don't lift a finger to help you, they are your enemy. And once you, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It seems like the more money I make, and when I make money, I'm talking about what I make on my own. I ain't talking about fundraising. I'm not talking about the money when y'all donate money. That's not my income. I'm talking about the money I make doing what I do. The life coaching, other stuff that I do. Consulting, business consulting. The more money I make and the more status and the higher I go in status, I notice I keep falling out with family members. And I was wondering, and I was talking to this one brother that I hang out with sometime. And he said, you know what it is, Ice? all these people in your family, like, you said, a couple of your uncles, some cousins, those folks never really wanted you. They never thought you would rise above having to stay with relatives, being homeless. And now that you've surpassed them, that's a problem. Those niggas never wanted you to make it anyway. That's what they got a problem with. Because I was wondering, I was like, how come I keep falling out with all these cousins and stuff? I'm like, what's going on here? And he broke it down for me. He said, oh man, them niggas was never you might share DNA with them, but those niggas never wanted you to be successful. And now that you surpassed their old asses, they got a problem with it. Those people are my enemies. And like 50 Cent said, death to my enemies. Death. People in your own family want you to fail. They are your enemy. I'm not trying to be nasty here, people. I'm not trying to make you turn your family, turn you against your family. Look, people, like I said again, skin folk ain't kinfolk. And black people have that real bad. Hating on each other. That's cowardly behavior. That's a cowardly ideology. Look, let me explain something to you. When I was growing up, people didn't do that. If you saw a brother rolling down the street in a caddy and he was clean and he was swerving in the lack, he would stop. Them old players would stop and say, hey, young blood, let me holler at you. Hey, how you doing in school? Man, get them good grades, man. Get them good grades, young blood. And then somebody will say, well, how do I get a caddy like yours? How do I get a lack like yours? Like, man, you got to work hard, man. You got to do A, B, and C. You don't have cats dropping game like that today. Most guys, most brothers that have made it, that are my age, they don't have nothing to say to black folks. Nothing. Because I have had people say to me, man, you got 2 master's degrees. Why are you talking to these? Them niggas ain't listening to you. I said, no, that ain't true, brother. Maybe 40% of them ain't listening. The other 60, they are listening. Whether they acknowledge it or not, they are listening. And that's why I keep doing this live stream, because I'm trying to educate, especially black men who haven't had a father in their lives. If you trying to get game, you need to listen to some of these old players who trying to lace you with game. Because see, back in my day, the ladies my age, the sisters my age, they would hold etiquette classes for young black women. So the girls in junior high, high school, and even young adulthood would come to these classes, and these ladies would teach them how to walk. They taught them how to sit. They taught them how to speak. They taught them how to be a lady. Do you think we got sisters like that today? No, what we got is the 50-year-old thought on Facebook with her ass poked up in the air. That's what we got for women. You got 40 and 50-year-old women on Facebook with their butts up in the air, trying to get attention. Do you think that's a mature person? And let me ask the black men, is that the pool of black women that you want to choose a wife out of? Is that the pool of women that you want to have a child by one of these women? Huh? Now, for all of the ones that's on there showing their ass and acting like a whore, you got the other ones who are just like them, but they might not be on Facebook. But they still think the way they do. So you got to watch out for them too. Like I always tell black men, back in the 80s, you didn't have to be Tom Brady and read the defense. You didn't have to do that, because most black women back then played themselves. They weren't as evil and deceitful and deceptive as they were back then, because black women didn't take on the traits of the white supremacists. So you were likely to get a decent black woman. Today, not so much. And you ain't going to solve the problem by getting with somebody of another race. That's not going to fix the problem. You're not going to fix the problem by running away to Norway, because when you run over there, you're going to see race. You're going to be met with white supremacy over there. I get tired of brothers sitting up here talking about, oh, I'm moving to Norway next week. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. First of all, you ain't even got a job. A lot of brothers will go to these foreign countries and find a woman and be trying to go over there pulling the shit they pull over here, trying to live off a woman. Them women will get tired of you over there and they'll send your ass back to America. They'll do it. You ain't gonna be able to sit over there and live off no woman. We're the only men that try that type of shit. Who's your real enemy? Your ultimate enemy is these white supremacists. These folks are your ultimate enemy. But they have some help. The white supremacist female and male has some minions. Some of them are black men. A good number of them are black women. And that's why we're going to have to continue to separate you from the rest of us. Because this is why the Democrats have been able to run game on us all this time for the last, just like LBJ said, I'm going to have niggers voting Democrat for the next 50 years. And he was right. But we'll see this. We saw with the last election how black folks felt about the Democrats. And that was a wake-up call to them. Because I don't want no woman president anyway. Black men, let me say something to you. You don't want a woman president. I don't care if she's black. You don't want a woman president, because if you do, they're going to push every feminist bill that when those feminist bills get to their desk, they're going to sign it. And when these feminist bills, all of these feminist bills hurt black men indirectly, sometimes directly. And remember, with every bill, there's millions or even billions of dollars attached to them. You want to sit up here and have more Hispanics going to HBCUs for free? Let them renew DACA. You got black women all in the media talking about, oh, we need illegal immigration. That's because you're making $250,000 a year on CNN. So you don't care if Sancho and Maria and them live near you, because you know they can't afford to live near you. You live in a $500,000 house. Sancho ain't gonna be able to afford a house over there where you live at. So you don't care. Any black person that supports illegal immigration, you are a damn fool. You are a damn fool. Because these people are being brought over here to replace your black ass in the workforce and in voting blocks. You dumbass. You can always tell how stupid a black person is when they open their mouth and say dumb shit like that. Oh, I support illegal immigration. So you support the replacement of your black ass. You dipshit. Black folks are stupid as hell. And you know what? Let me just say this here. Black people, when you go out here and you make these asinine statements like, and you say that you support illegal immigration, you support feminism, what you really are saying is that you support the extermination of your people. That's what you support. Let's just keep it a buck. You support the eradication and extermination of black people because that's what's happening right now. That's what they are doing to us. That's what they're doing to us. We got police killing us. We got white citizens out here killing us. Black women are getting the brakes beat off their ass almost in broad daylight. What do you think this country is saying to you? They're saying, we don't like you. We don't want you here. You have no power. Let me ask you black women something. Which would you prefer to have? Would you prefer to get attention? Or would you want empowerment? Which one would you want? State your answer in the chat room. Which would you prefer? Which would you want? You want attention or do you want empowerment? I guarantee 99% of the women will say they want attention because they don't even understand what empowerment is. The reason you have the utter disrespect of black people and the disrespect for black life in this country is because you are not empowered. You have no empowerment. And every time we try to get some empowerment popping, you got mammies and Sambos trying to fuck it up for the rest of us. You got mammies and Sambos fucking it up for the rest of us. You digs? You can donate via the Cash App. My Cash App ID is $ the Iceman 1906. Who's your real enemy? Is it me? Is it me because I'm saying some things you may not want to hear? Or is it the white supremacist who's got you stuck in a dead-end job where you're never going to rise above where you are? Who's your real enemy? Me or her or him? Some of you guys are stuck in the same $15 an hour job. No benefits other than you getting that Obama shit, which in my opinion is just like not having any health care. You digs? Some of you black women got college degrees and you're working in a job where a white woman half your age is your boss. And guess what? You'll never get her job. Who's your enemy? Me for telling you that or her? Who's your enemy? Who's your real enemy? See, I know who my enemy is. I see him and her every day. Every day I come out of my place, my spot. I see my enemies. And they can tell that running up on the Iceman is hazardous to their health. They can pick up on that. And I don't give a damn if people are uncomfortable. Yeah, see, when they talk about toxic masculinity, what they're really saying, what they're really talking about is you black men who have that warrior mentality, you're toxic. You ought to be more like Terry Crews and be a weak, flimsy, useful idiot for white supremacy to manipulate. You should be more like Terry Crews. Hey, brothers, have you ever had a white person say to you that you ought to be more like some sellout at your job. See, the reason why you're not moving up, Darquavius, is because you should be more like OJ over there that work in shipping and receiving. He loves the white women. Or Willie over here, the janitor. You should be more like Willie. You should be harmless like him. He speaks to all the white peoples. I've had white people say some racist shit to me like that at jobs. See, Iceman, the reason why you ain't moving up, because you need to be more like Rolando over there. You need to be more like her. And Rolanda's some old fat ass, church going, scary ass Negro. Speak to all the white folks, don't speak to no black folks. See, she moved up. Oh, she moved up from customer service rep to lead customer service rep. You call that a bump? She'll never be the customer service manager. See, that's why I've always quit jobs where I saw I was going to be stuck there. I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. You ain't finna get me like that. You're going to have me working the same job for 20 years. Not that you could stay on a job 20 years today. Because the average person is only on the job 5 to 7 years. On the low end, 3 years. On the high end, 7. You digs? Dig it. Who is your real enemy? For some of y'all, the real enemy is you. The real enemy, if you're looking in the mirror, the real enemy is looking back at you. Because what's up here is detrimental to the progress, your social progress you need to make as a black person living in America. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to unlearn that bullshit? Are you going to get off the alcohol? You're going to get off the crack? You're going to get off the heroin or whatever else you're using? Because that's your enemy. And that, look, let me tell you something about drugs and alcohol. I know a lot about drugs and alcohol, and I can honestly tell you none of that shit helps. None of it. Not even weed. None of it will fix anything. And we all know drinking too much alcohol will fuck your body up. If you want cancer, drink a whole lot of alcohol. You want to fuck your liver up? Drink a bunch of alcohol. You want to fuck your prostate up? Drink a whole lot of alcohol. Beer or wine. I mean, it could be beer, wine, or liquor. When I say alcohol, I'm talking about all of it. Ooh, I only drink wine, son. You ain't talking to me. I'm talking to you too. Last I checked, wine is alcohol. Might have a lower concentration, but it's still alcohol. Well, I switch from liquor to beer. It's still alcohol, fool. Who is your real enemy? If your real enemy is you got some work to do. I suggest you come holler at me. I'll help you get out of that mindset. But first, you got to admit that you have an ideology or or possibly a mental disorder that is detrimental to your progress in life. If you are a shipping clerk and you make $15 an hour, and if you started that job last year, that's fine. That's good. You're gainfully employed. But if 10 years go by and you still a shipping and receiving clerk, and you're only making maybe $16 an hour, then you're not making progress. You see where I'm going with this? You're not making progress. See, the America that you live in, look, I drove all the way across this country. And I'm telling you right now, America's getting more and more expensive. We're paying man, there were some places where gas was $4 a gallon. I went down to Northern Cali and the gas was $4.20 something a gallon, $4.30 a gallon. Gas was $3 something a gallon in Wyoming. This country is getting more and more expensive to the detriment of hardworking folks like yourselves. Y'all understand this? These corporations are making it almost impossible for a family to get by. I remember when I was a kid, my parents would go to McDonald's because McDonald's was good back then. They would go to McDonald's and spend $7 and feed the whole family. You go to McDonald's today and spend $7. You'll barely get enough food for yourself. This is the society you live in. Disney World is $99 to get in. I don't know how much Disneyland is. I bet it's higher than that. I don't know how much California Adventure is, but Disneyland is ridiculous. And then it's so crowded, especially this time of year. It's ridiculous. And then all them old Mexicans, all them old people, them old immigrants. Oh, I hate that shit. I hate being around immigrants. I ain't got nothing against them personally. I just don't like being around them because they nasty. who is your real enemy? Black people, you are surrounded by people who are your enemy, who are your real enemy. The police, no matter what color they are, the police are your enemy. All these politicians are your enemy. Let me explain something to you. If somebody's going to deprive you economically, you have to find a way to get that, another way to get that bag. So you decide that you want to slang a little dope. Well, here they go, putting you in prison for that. So as you can see, being a drug dealer ain't a good career for a black man to have. So what we need to do is get our economic game together. The first thing we need to do is to continue to put pressure on these Democrats, telling them that if they don't give us any tangible reparations in the form of a check, they not getting our vote. And then we need to keep the pressure on them up until election day. Because they think we playing with them. Because usually black folks will say things and then we'll go right back to doing the dumb shit. We'll go right back to we'll go right back to partying. Because black folks love to party. We'll go back to partying and not taking care of business. That's why I remember this one guy said, if you want to make money, go open up something in a black neighborhood. Because black folks, all we like to do is party. All we like to do is party. So the best thing, if you want to get rich, open up a bar in a black neighborhood, open up a restaurant, open up a club. Okay? We don't want to own stuff ourselves, but we're real happy when other races of people come into the black neighborhoods and open up businesses. You have to remember, we don't live in communities. We live in neighborhoods. We live in neighborhoods. And neighborhoods are where people who don't control the economy live. Everybody else lives in communities. We live in neighborhoods. Why? Because our neighborhoods are matriarchal. And no matriarchal society can survive. It will not survive. It cannot survive. If you look at all the civilizations that have existed before American civilization, that became matriarchal. At some point, they got killed off. So if we know history, we know that a matriarchal neighborhood or group of people, those folks will not survive, because if the women are considered to be the leaders and the women are getting the brakes beat off of them in beauty supply stores, beauty salons, restaurants, and just out here on the street in parking lots, and this continues, how long do you think it's going to take for them to just outright start killing us? Now, in Colorado last week, they had another couple fools shoot up another school. It won't be long before they'll just haul off and start shooting black folks the way they going up in these schools shooting. We ain't that far from that. We're not that far from that, people. You digs? You think we're years away from that? No, we're not. You already got resource officers in schools beating on black children. They're going after soft targets. You digs? And they're doing that for a reason. So I say to you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, when you look in the mirror, when you look at the people around you at your job, when you look at the people who live around you in your neighborhood, when you drive down the freeway tomorrow morning, when you go to work, count how many people are your real enemy, starting with yourself. Go to AskTheIceman.com if you want to hire me as a life coach. I help people that are coming out of bad relationships. If you've dealt with a divorce, if you've dealt with some stuff at the job, you're in between jobs. You having problems with you getting kicked in the butt by love, and you don't know how to talk to, you're having problems meeting a man, I can help you with that. If you're having problems meeting a woman, I can help you do that. If you don't know how to talk to women, I will teach you how to talk to women. And I am effective. You dig? I'm damn good at what I do. I ain't just blowing smoke up your ass. Go to AskTheIceman.com and go to About the Iceman page, which is, I believe, the second page. And it's a short bio there. It talks about my education and my career experience. And then at the bottom, I have different packages for you to choose from. Don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer in silence, man. Don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer another day. Go to asktheiceman.com and hire me as your life coach. Let's get it cracking. Saturday, we're doing the Players Circle podcast. We were able to we were able to meet our fundraising goal. Like to thank everybody that donated last week. The topic for Saturday's Player Circle podcast will be is marriage beneficial in 2019? Also, is porn needed to spice up your sex life? Those are topics. You digs? So if you're my Facebook folks, if you have not subscribed to my channel on YouTube, my channel is the Mad Voodoo Man. Here's my channel, Facebook. The Mad Voodoo Man. That's my channel. Subscribe to my channel so you won't be left out. Because sometimes I don't do the simulcast because Facebook be giving me problems. You digs? So I've been having problems with them. So that's the show. The show will start at 2 o'clock Pacific time, 2 p.m. Pacific time. So be in the house. Okay? We got to continue to do this fundraising. You digs? So, we usually I usually ask for $10 donation. Now remember, in 2020, you're gonna tally up all that you're gonna get your paperwork from PayPal, tally up all that you have donated, and take that to your tax professional so you can get a write-off. Don't forget to do that. Hopefully, y'all did that for 2019. For last year. Okay? So let's get it cracking. Meet me now. Let me see. 2 o'clock. Yeah, 2 o'clock Pacific time. Yeah, that's late enough. So yeah, you guys remember that Player Circle podcast. Player Circle podcast. Be ready to get it in. Now, remember, the Player Circle podcast is all dating and relationships. Okay? So we try to have fun on that one. So meet us. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. You digs? Subscribe to the Mad Voodoo Man channel on YouTube so you can get it cracking with the Iceman. You tuned in to the Iceman Show podcast. I am your host, the Iceman. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to thank everybody that donated via the Cash App. I'd like to thank everybody that donated via PayPal. I love you guys. And remember, you ain't got to take no mess from nobody. You digs? Progress starts with you. And then it's contagious. Holla at your boy.